You didn't know he
Don't worry about it. It's just locker room talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second to last episode of Locker Room Talk. Wow.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. In this season, maybe, I don't know, or maybe ever. Sometimes something's so good you can only do it once, and then, who knows what we'll do from here.
Don't think this is one of those things, but you'll have to tune in to find out, I guess. Oh, I guess if you're tuning in, then you did find us.
You did find us. They found out. I'm your one of your hosts, GamerDoc. This is Eleni. Domesta has Strong Forecheck on Twitter. So if you haven't followed us already, what's wrong with you? So this is a very special episode for a couple of reasons. One is, you know how when you were a kid and your parents left you alone for the first time? Eleni, did that ever happen to you?
Oh yeah, I remember once my parents went to the neighborhood next door and I was alone in the house. I was probably 11.
Yeah.
And they were really close, they could walk to me, but it was still I was sitting by the phone, ready to call them if something happened.
Did you get into any trouble?
I was a goody two-shoes. I've never gotten into trouble in my life.
Wow.
I know that's hard to believe. That's not true. I've been grounded once because I took an extra class and lied about it. My mom thought I had study hall until I got my report card.
No, we're not going to touch that.
There's nothing to touch.
When my parents left me alone for the first time, I got a tattoo. Yeah.
You're way cooler than me.
I wouldn't go that far, but we're different types. So this is a show. Michelle is not here. Our wonderful producer Michelle J is normally doing all of the work.
Can you tell that she's not here? Because I can tell.
It's special for another reason. One is we have a very special guest, which we're not going to talk about yet until the end. I'm really excited about this. But before we get to our guest, some fun hockey stuff has been happening. Worlds is finally here. The committee finally decided that women's hockey was relevant or convenient enough to play. So, Eleni, have you been watching?
So Worlds is happening. It's happening at a really weird time of year. I'm not used to watching competitive hockey in August.
Mm-hmm.
I love it personally because it's my birthday and I get to sit around, not on my birthday, but I get to sit around and watch hockey, which is the best. What could I possibly want more in life?
Wait, when is your birthday?
My birthday was August 21st on Saturday.
Oh, awkward. Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was nice. It's okay. I wasn't really online super much that day. We went to the aquarium and then last night, which was not my birthday, but it was the day after. Last night, I watched the USA game, just chilling outside with a White Claw. So,
what flavor White Claw?
I think we should have raspberry.
Oh yeah, best flavor.
Yeah,
best flavor.
Yeah, exactly. I think all this to say, I think we should have competitive women's hockey in August more often. It rocks, and I'm personally really enjoying it a lot.
So USA did well last night, did they not?
They sure did win the game.
That's a good estimate of them doing well. Someone made a joke the other day. They're like, it's USA versus Canada and everyone else is competing for bronze. That's what it kind of feels like.
It has felt like that for a long time. I think the first time it didn't feel like that was in 2019 at Worlds, and then a bunch of the Finnish players retired after that.
Yeah.
So the US beat them 3-0 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would necessarily say it was super convincing.
No.
But not because of Finland. It was more I was watching it and I was like, Canada's gonna eat us like a snack if we play like this. So,
yeah.
And not in a sexy way. It's gonna be really bad.
Well, in our defense, or I don't know whose defense I'm talking about right now, Canada needs to get their crap together. I don't know if you watched the pre-tournament game against Finland.
Yeah, that was rough.
They had 1,000 penalties.
Yeah.
They were just bodying people.
To be honest with you, their roster is built to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
If you look at that roster and you think they're gonna do anything else, I don't really know what to tell you. But and I think that it works against certain teams. I don't think that's gonna work against Team USA, but lucky for them, Team USA's power play is embarrassing. So I'm not sure that it would matter if Team USA was on the power play for most of the game, but maybe they'll figure it out before that. I don't know. I've seen them do it before, so
yeah,
it's definitely possible. I think it's interesting. You can kind of tell, at least to me, the players who have been playing regular league games competitively every week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
So like Megan Bozak was playing in the ZHL in Russia. Well, she was playing in China, but the league is based in Russia. And she looks awesome. And like Alex Carpenter looks awesome. The college players, the NCAA players who have come up look awesome. And they weren't playing super regularly, but like still, I think that level of like very regular training and like and so the Finnish players look more composed to me because I think they have all been playing in the Liga or the SDHL.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much that plays into it. I don't know that it's enough to make a difference really in terms of the medals being won, but it's interesting to see for sure.
Last night, Hillary Knight got her 44th 44th career goal. Is this her? It's her 11th year in Worlds, I think, or something like that. Something stupid.
Yeah, her first Worlds was 2010. So yeah, it would be her 11th.
Yeah, I mean that's just it's a long time to play hockey. I wonder how many more years she's gonna play. I mean, she's still scoring goals, so let's keep her around. I mean, for at least a little while longer.
She's definitely due in the next Olympics, but I think after this next Olympics, not even just her, but there's going to be a handful of USA players that are going to bounce, and it's time. I think it's probably time, and that's fine. That's great. They're going to go out, regardless of what happens at Worlds and what happens at this next Olympics. Like almost all of them, if not all of them, will have an Olympic gold medal by the time they retire, even if they don't win gold in 2022. So that's kind of. I'm not sure what else you could ask for, especially because probably by the time Hillary retires, she'll have the world's goal scoring record.
Wow.
If she scores another goal in this tournament.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sure she will.
I don't think the USA has been scored on yet. Like, they beat Russia 6-0 in the pre-match. They beat the Swiss 3-0. They beat Finland 3-0. So, shout out to that goalie. They're playing... So, they will have played Russia again by the time this episode airs. So we'll see if they score. Is Russia the goalie with that dope helmet?
I believe that's a Swiss goalie.
Oh my god, it's spooky.
It is, yeah.
It's spooky. It reminds me of that metal that absorbs light.
The Russians, I think we're allowed to call them that. They are Russian.
This is the Russian Olympic Committee. This is actually members of the Olympic Committee. They're not athletes. That's why they're doing so poorly.
Honestly, I think that the Olympic Committee should have to field a team every year in every sport.
Every year, yeah.
Anyway,
wait, hold on. We do need that to make the Olympics. This is not original thought, but just having a normal human in every Olympic event, just for a little comparison, just a normal human.
Like, how hard is this actually?
Yeah. How hard?
Even the teams that are bad in the women's hockey
right.
ridiculously talented people. No, I think that's true. That's a good reminder.
But I'm sorry, I detracted from your other thought.
It's fine. It's right here. It's not going anywhere. The Russian team, the Russian Olympic Committee, they spoiled the Canadian shutout with like 18 seconds left last night, which I thought was really fun. Because like Canada was going to win that game regardless, but good for them. Like, that rocks.
Very Russian.
And it was a great shot too. Yeah, it was a great shot. Yeah. But actually the US has had 2 different goalies play over the course of so far. So last night it was Nicole Hensley against Finland. But they're really not seeing a lot of shots, any of them.
Yeah. So they're not, I mean, whatever.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Maybe it'll be a low shot game.
I don't know.
Between USA and Canada when they finally do play, but I kind of don't think that their rosters are built for shot suppression, so I get the feeling both goalies are going to see like 30 plus shots, if I had to guess.
So speaking of USA v Canada, we've got 4 p.m. Thursday. That is when, Eastern Standard, that is when we're going to see USA v Canada head-to-head. Familiar names on both sides. USA, you've got Knight, Coyne, Kessel, Scamora, Decker. Canada, you've got Johnston, which it's a star. They're star-studded on either side. It's the USA team. But Eleni, can I transition to our first guest? So, if you saw the players that I just listed, some former NWHL players, but no current NWHL players, which is interesting, and I think a little too interesting to be coincidence. And so we are introducing our first guest, our only guest of the night, and that is Rumors. We will not be discussing harmful rumors. We will not be discussing relationships. But there are rumors out there in women's hockey that we all know about, but we don't really talk about. So let's speculate. This is not journalism. Okay. This is not investigatory journalism. We are talking about the rumors we heard. Who knows? So the first rumor that I heard, Eleni, and tell me if you've heard this one. I heard that the USA players were told if they participated in the NWHL, they would not have a spot on Team USA.
I guess my question is, told by whom?
Good question.
I maybe believe that there's some truth to that nugget, but I don't know that I think that it was like an organizational mandate so much as it was an unspoken, like, we don't want those kinds of people here. We don't think those kinds of people are good enough to be here. And to some extent, like, if you're the person making the roster, do you want to bring in someone who you know most of the rest of your roster is maybe not going to be super jiving with? Like, yeah. At what point do you value the vibes above, especially because, like, there's no shortage of players who aren't in the NWHL who are good enough for this roster. So why would you rock the boat? I guess I get it. But I think it to the extent that might be true, it's coming from players being like, I don't think that those kinds of people, I don't think that the McKenna Brands are good enough to be on this roster.
But like put Michaela Grant-Mentis on this USA team. Like, she's good enough. She's gonna Canadian. Score. Oh. Put her on the team. On the USA team. Don't tell me what to do. Put her on the team right now.
I'm eligible. I'm happy to get her a green card so that she can play for the U.S.
Put her on the team. I forgot that was a thing. I was literally like, put MGM on the team. Put Mateau on the team. Let's put CJ on the team. Why not Soraya Tinker? Dude, never mind.
I'm saying.
Okay, hold on. Here's a rumor that I just made up. NWHL players aren't allowed to play in the Olympics because then Team Canada would be stacked. It's an American conspiracy. The government did it.
I love that rumor. I do love that rumor. Yeah, I mean, it just, you could make like an all-star roster of not even just NWHLers, but players in general who, for whatever reason, didn't make the Olympic teams or like the World's teams. Like, Annie Pankowski is not in the NWHL. For some reason, she's not on this roster. I love all of my children equally, but I love Annie Pankowski more than I love anybody. And I just don't understand what she's got to do. Okay, Lindsay Eastwood, you're trying to tell me the Canada roster wouldn't be better with Lindsay Eastwood on it? Like, I don't buy that.
I can only think of Canadian NWHLers. Taylor Kersey's a Canadian too, isn't she?
Yes.
What is happening here?
American NWHLers?
No, I can do it myself.
Okay, all right, I'm waiting.
I don't want to talk about this. Let's move on to the next rumor.
Okay.
So that's a rumor. Interesting. I'm sure everyone's heard it. It's interesting to speculate. Yeah, Eleni brings up a great point. Who did it come from? It's probably more of an unspoken thing. It's easier for you to choose your other players than your NWHLers. Yeah, I hear that.
There's a lot of unspoken, like, vibes only rules.
Yeah.
National teams. Like, it's any sport, there's always some kind of understanding of, like, this is who we're not gonna be. Mm-hmm. You know.
Okay, I gotta use. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I just got excited about the next rumor.
Go. I hear it.
And then it's your turn. So, I don't know. Okay. I heard this rumor from a very interesting source. But remember that NWHL troll? That women's hockey troll from a couple months ago?
Yes.
You know the guy who was going around and, like, posting, it was right when the Digit Murphy stuff dropped.
Yeah,
I don't remember. We don't need to say his name. I don't even remember what his name, though, was.
I don't either, so.
I heard a rumor that he was the relative of a team owner in the NWHL.
I also heard that.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about specifics because we're not trying to harm anyone.
I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Like, I buy it.
But
I equally buy that it could be someone else.
But
like, I equally buy.
He was using terms, because we know it's a he. He was using terms of endearment, he was using nicknames for people. Like, I didn't know who he was talking about because I had to look up who he was talking about, and then it was like a nickname of someone in ownership. And so I was like, interesting.
Yeah, it's shady. It's definitely gives me the vibes of like, if this is not someone who is connected, it's someone who knows enough to sound like they're connected, which is to me just as weird.
Yeah. It was weird. It was very weird.
And it was especially weird because like what even happened with that? Like it just like
back to obscurity and you know, a multimedia news company.
And like I don't know. I mean, like, some of the stuff that this person was saying was like, if this is true, probably people should know.
Yeah. Well, what did he say? What did that person say? Let's go on to our next rumor.
I think the biggest rumor, and this is kind of a connected tangent, there are still some burners on women's hockey Twitter that are like very clearly burners. And myself and another, I guess I'm not a journalist, but another journalist that's actually a journalist, not like me. Am I? Okay. So another journalist, we were looking up someone else or something else, and we just like typed someone's name into Twitter, and it was like, oh, what is this? And these accounts like don't even appear to be, to me, real accounts. But they're like all there's like 2 or 3 of them, and they're all saying the same stuff and like retweeting each other. And a lot of it is like, Danny Ryland was unfairly pushed out of the league, and the people who are in charge now are driving it into the ground. And I just, it's very like, what's in these, whoever's running these burner accounts like very specifically hates the current commissioner and the guy that owns, or the president of the Pride, or the guy that owns the Pride.
I don't know who that is.
Miles Arnone.
We forgot it. What was our private ownership episode? Can we do a rewind?
His name's Miles Arnone. They will like look him up online and like post things about him, which like I have not done the work to like fact check because I don't really think it matters. But whoever this is running these burner accounts like really specifically hates these people. And the wild thing to me is that like it has not been picked up at all. Like this person's been spending months being like, this person did this thing and Danny Ryland got unfairly pushed out of the league, which like I completely believe that. If someone came to me and was like, this is what happened and she resigned, like I believe that I would believe it either way. But if someone seriously came to me and was like, she was pushed out for XYZ reasons, like I would completely believe it with enough proof. So it's weird to me that this person is saying basically that, and absolutely nobody has acknowledged that this is happening at all. Except me right now.
I think like when when we're talking about these rumors right now, it's entertaining, it's interesting. I think sometimes people on social media have malintent. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do people bring women's hockey down? You get us to fight amongst each other, right? And that's just, I mean, I'm never going to do that. And you're never going to, like, we all support each other and we support the league. Like, so to be 5,000% honest with you, when I got first offered the job to host NWHL Open Ice, I met with the people who were in charge, and they're like, okay, who do you want on the show? And I was like, Hillary Knight would probably be good. Kendall Coyne, blah, blah, blah. I had no idea that the PWHPA split had happened because, like, I was peripherally involved in hockey, but, like, I just don't pay attention to that stuff, which is really funny now with hindsight. And in the beginning, when that first happened, I was like, oh, then we don't like the PWHPA. But, like, that's crap. That's a terrible way of thinking. Just because someone else is succeeding doesn't mean it takes away from the NWHL's success. Everyone is growing hockey together. And so I just think I think there's people out there on the internet on either sides who are bringing up the PWHPA or bringing up the NWHL and trying to bring the other one down. I just don't think that's the way to go.
I think to some extent the media feeds it a little bit too, in that you're having people present ideas to players in a context that they've not considered them. So if someone comes to someone and is like, it's a leading question, that's what I would say in front of a judge. If you come to someone and you're like, so do you think that these players are bad and evil, basically? Like, there's going to be players who are like, no, I don't really think about them at all.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be players who are like, am I supposed to? I guess I disagree with them. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess I feel like they're not doing the right thing. And then it's like, it gets blown up.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I'm sure some of them feel some type of way about it, and like they're all entitled to feel however they want to feel. But I do think that stuff gets misconstrued so much, and that's what I worry about so much with like rumors, especially stuff that starts on social media. Is like it feels like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, totally. I hear that. All right, do you have any rumors you want to tackle before we run out of time?
Yeah, I have one, and it's my favorite ever.
I can't wait.
So, I think it was like 2014 when I first got into like watching more closely, and I don't even remember how I heard this. It was probably on Twitter or Tumblr, even way back.
Probably Tumblr.
And someone was like, "Yeah, who knows? It would have been cool in a Vine." So, I forget which Canadian. It was either a veteran player or someone who had recently retired or something. Someone was like, "Yeah, in 2010, the Americans had a Canadian flag on the floor of their locker room and they were walking all over." And I guess someone came back to, so the way that the 2014 gold medal game was that Team USA won up 2-0. And in the third period, it was like, how does it feel that you're going to lose this game? Like that was the level of chirping that was happening in the third period of this game, which is hilarious because there are players on those teams that are married now. And like, if my girlfriend said that to me, I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, and so that's the energy that they had. And I was told by AppleCare that the intermission between the second and third periods, Haley Wickenheiser went to them and reminded them of the story of the Canadian flag being on the floor of the locker room with everyone walking all over it. And they came out and they tied the game and then they won it in overtime. I don't really think that that's true. And I think that to the extent that Canadian players were told if that happened, if they were told that Team USA had a Canadian flag, it's very much like why would you have any reason to know that? You wouldn't know. You're just saying that to get people fired up. But it worked. And that rocks. Like, that's awesome. That's the level of like of banter and shenanigans and that I love. I love that stuff. It doesn't hurt anybody, and it's provocative, and they went out and
it's provocative. It gets the people going.
And like this, it brings the rivalry back together in a way that you're feeling defeated, and then someone says some stuff about your flag, which I personally can't relate to, but
right,
I'd be like, all right, that sucks, but like, you know what? If it was the gay flag, I might be mad about it.
Yeah.
I kind of do better.
You drape that around your body.
I mean, I kind of feel like if you grow up like representing your country that way, I think it hits different.
Yeah.
And they were pissed off, and they came out and they won the game, and so whoever did tell them that happened, good for you.
Good for you.
That was great
marketing. It's like the Got Milk marketing. It's like, or the marketing campaign that recycling can save the environment, right? Like that was created by Big Oil. Big Oil, because they don't want you to know that they're the ones destroying the environment. And even if all of us recycled and drove electric cars and did everything, 70% of fossil fuel emissions would still be emitted by like 10 companies or something. Some sort of stat like that.
Well, it's actually very similar because like even if it's true that Team USA is stomping all over your flag, you're still losing the game. Like that has no bearing on whether or not you're winning or losing the game, but you're mad about it now, so you're going to try hard.
Is Big Oil. Recycling is the flag. Anyways,
it didn't make any sense.
You don't have to try and make it make sense. It makes perfect sense.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense. So
I'm trying to think if I have any more. I don't think I have any more.
USA v Canada, Thursday, 4 p.m. Score prediction. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna go with Canada 4-2.
Canada?
I don't like it. The fourth goal is an empty netter.
No. USA 2-0.
A shutout.
USA 2-0.
Here's why. You want to hear why I think we're gonna lose that game?
Not really, but okay.
I'm gonna tell you anyway. I think they're putting all their eggs in one basket a little bit with that top line being Coyne, Decker, Knight. And if you're playing the matchup game and you put them against the best defensive line in hockey, which is the Poulin line, and they can't score, what do you have?
You're still gonna win because we're America.
I would love to win that game. I hope I'm wrong. I do. And you know what? I hope that Erin Frankel plays that game and she gets a shutout. amazing.
Well, now that I'm realizing that all my favorite hockey players are Canadian, maybe I should need to switch teams. I don't know. Whatever. I'll get over it one day.
Kendall Cornine. Sorry, someone's yelling in the background. Kendall Cornine. I'm running out of other.
That's okay. That's okay. All right.
McKenna Brand. Jillian Dempsey. Okay, I'm done now.
Let's be done with this very special segment. Michelle's gone. Last week is our very last episode of this season. We've got some exciting things planned. So y'all tune in next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our last episode.
Season finale.
Season finale. Eleni, send it to you. Send us out of here.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching our special little Mom's Not Home episode. We hope you enjoyed Home Alone 4. I think there's already 3. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
I hope you guys all watch Worlds, and I want to know your opinions. I want to know your favorite memes from the tournament. There have been some spicy ones. And I want to know your favorite American NWHLer so that Lindsay can start a list.
Oh, I also want everyone to tell me the most absurd rumor that they made up. That's not harmful to anyone. Like, I heard a rumor that
be nice, because
the Buttes are signing star center woman Lindsay Miglior.
I heard a rumor that the Buttes actually forced their rookies to eat a whole box of the 3 Chipwiches before their first practice, and the only way that you are allowed to start the first game is if you eat all of them and like nothing happens.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that Carly Jackson must be a Chipwich machine.
I heard a rumor that when you sign up for the Connecticut Whale, you have to rub your body in whale blubber and slide across the entire length of the ice.
Here you go. Have your cake right there. Happy birthday. Bye-bye.
I believe that.
I'm not cutting that from the show. I just want you to know. That's not. I'm not cutting that from the show.
You're welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. We will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.